Let's continue.
All right, let's go.
Maybe their vote doesn't count. Well, it does. Okay? It does. It matters. And this election could be decided by 1,000 votes, 500 votes. A tiny margin. So get everyone you know to register to vote. I believe that's swapthevote.com. I believe that's the site. And double check that your registration is good. Don't take it for granted. I'm just being repetitive about this point because it is the one takeaway, more than anything, that will matter is getting those registrations and then getting everyone you know to actually vote. That is what will decide this election, especially in Pennsylvania.
All right. Short and sweet, I guess. Redundant, but I understand why he's being redundant, because people are stupid.
So thank you, and honestly, you want to just be a pest. Just be a pest to everyone you know, people on the street, everywhere. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, fight, fight. Vote, vote, vote. Thank you.
He's usually not starstruck. You can see he's starstruck here.
Elon?
Yeah, he's usually not starstruck. He is here.
He's tall, though. I didn't know Elon was so tall. Because Trump is about 6'3".
What a great guy. And he'd rather be making rocket ships, because he'd really rather do that.
There you go, J.D.
Nobody
Vance.
better. I think he's got 90% of the rockets that go up. But Elon, thank you very much. Incredible. Incredible. What he says is true. What he says is true. You know, we're all having fun here tonight, but if we don't register and if we don't...
You see J.D. Vance over there. I was pleasantly surprised by the vice president debate. The vice presidential debate. It was actually way higher IQ than the presidential debate.
He did well.
Both Tim Walz and J.D. Vance are both far more intelligent than their presidential counterparts. Though I do like Trump, but you know, they're just better spoken and better at articulating their points and kind of giving the nuance of certain things. I mean, I get it. You know, Kamala Harris and Trump, they're more the brand, right? So they're coming in on a more, this is the face. We're gonna engage in
they're marketing
more, certain antics and stuff like that. They're eating cats and dogs. That's what everyone remembers from the debate, right? Versus like the vice presidential debate. I want all you guys to watch it if you haven't seen it already. I reacted to it. Way higher IQ conversation than the presidential debate.
That's funny, man. So you've been running this podcast for 4 years, talking to broads all day, and you're shocked that the presidential debate with low IQ.
No. I mean, I knew it was going to be bad, but you know, I think Trump could have done better. Personally, I was a little disappointed.
Slam dunk.
I think he won, but I don't think it was a decisive victory. Because, okay, this is what I noticed from the debate. People that like Trump are going to like him more from the debate. Cool. People that like Kamala are going to like her more from the debate. Cool. The people that support who they're going to support, they just dig their heels deeper. I support them even more now. Cool. But the people in the middle, the independents, the people that are undecided, etc., we didn't pull them to Trump. I would argue, if anything, though I think Trump won, Kamala pulled more of those people from the middle to her than we pulled from the middle to Trump. And the reason for that is because Trump is extremely polarizing. And unfortunately, the narratives about him have gotten so big that people believe the bullshit narratives, right? And unless you do research, you're not going to know. For example, there's a lot of people on the left that still honestly think that Trump is against abortion. That's not true. There's still a lot of people out there that believe that he supports Project 2025. That's not true. So if you're not a researched voter and you don't know what's going on, you're going to believe a lot of the lies that Kamala told, or you're going to believe the mainstream narratives that are said about Trump. And let's be honest, a lot of Americans are stupid. And this might have been the first time that they've seen either party talk publicly. Remember, guys, the American public in general doesn't give a fuck about politics like that. They kind of tune in here or there, but like the most educated, the majority of voters are not educated. So that was probably the first time watching both parties talk at the same time in a public forum. So I think in that situation, for a normie, they're going to think Kamala won. But anyone that has half a brain knows that Trump is a better candidate. Does that make sense? We didn't pull enough people over from the middle is my issue.
I get what you're
but
saying.
I think J.D. Vance's debate with Waltz brought in some of those people that were in the middle to us. because he's way better articulate. He's a Yale graduate, but at the same time, he represents the Midwest and the Rust Belt. So he's able to talk the Ivy League, posh, polished, proper English, while simultaneously saying, "Hey, look, I'm in the military, or I'm a former Marine. I've served this country. I went to war. I'm an entrepreneur as well. I'm from the Midwest. I'm like you, right?" So he's able to kind of hit both sides.
Yeah.
Because the thing that Trump lacks is the posh and the refinement that politicians of before had. If you look at the Mitt Romney and Obama debate from 2012, right? Because I would say that's the last time we had like a super professional presidential debate. That's what the vice presidential debate was with Waltz and J.D. Vance and they were super nice to each other. Like J.D. Vance talked about how he felt sorry that his son was involved in a victim of a school shooting.
Waltz is a liar though, bro. I think they land all over the place.
Yeah, he was deceptive.
He got caught up. Heavy.
Yeah. But the thing is that J.D. Vance showed him compassion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was like a great level of professionalism in the debate. So that debate actually brought me back to 2012, and I was like, oh yeah, remember when politicians used to like actually be cordial and be polite and shit like that? So yeah.
I think Kamala, not by merit, but just by being there and standing her ground, won that debate. Because like you said earlier,
think she won?
I'll tell you why.
Oh, damn.
Not because of her debating skills, it's because she was able to make Trump have to respond to her. And remember, she's a woman. So what is the audience going to do? Because remember, they don't think for themselves. Well, he's bullying her. He's trying to make her look bad. She's holding her composure and responding in the right way. So they're going to say, okay, those people in the middle, she actually stood her ground and they backed down from Trump. So by that alone, women are first. Women are right. She's pushing them towards her campaign.
But do you think she won?
Me personally, no. But by default, she won. By even being there and standing her ground, she won. Because remember, Trump's people are going to vote for him anyway.
Okay. Let me make sure I get this right. So, you think Trump won, but you think Kamala won the public
opinion. Because she pulled those middle audience to her because she stood her ground.
This is the same thing I said. Shout out to 1775 Coffee.
I said that because her audience, right, typically is women, of course, because she's a woman. But those in the middle that aren't that, I want to say, educated on politics itself, they're going to say, okay, well, Trump hasn't shown us that he's like slam dunked her, but our feelings are telling us, listen, she held her own, and remember, once again, feelings go a long way with women and a lot of not smart voters.
Yeah, I mean, because I saw Democrats on Twitter saying that she won. Like, they all said that she won, and the Trump supporters said that she won.
And the majority of people, what are they? The majority of people.
Oh, people voting?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's women, mostly now.
So, by default,
unfortunately,
even though she was there and she didn't win by the debate, her standing her ground and staying there and responding and making him have to answer to her, she won their side, is what I'm trying to say.
She had an earpiece in her ear telling her exactly what to say, and it was actually not 1-on-1, it was 3-on-1.
It was.
The moderators are always on the
Trump.
Democratic side. So even for Trump to be like, oh, it looks like it was even, he won because it's always 3-on-1. People always got to take that into account.
Well, no. To us, he won. But to the mass public, he didn't win. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying.
How they think. So I'm looking at their lens. You know what? Why would they say that she won? I see why she's, because again, she appealed to the people in the middle that weren't sure where to go.
Brother, Trump and Camilla is just like a Muslim and a Christian debating. All the Christians are going to say the Christian won.
Yes.
All the Muslims are going to say the Muslim won.
Yes.
It's no different. It's absolutely no different.
Yeah. I just think the people that are in the middle are going to probably lean towards Kamala, unfortunately, because most Americans are stupid.
But who's winning now? Trump.
Yeah, I think he's winning in the polls.
Yeah, he's winning
But the problem with the polls is they're so unstable. And then the other thing, too, the people that are in the polls aren't necessarily the niggas that are going to show up and vote. Like, way more people turn out and vote than are in the polls.
I know you're not for gambling, but this is the one time you trust the gamblers because you don't look at the polls. You look at who has the money on who. And right now, it's 51% Trump, 49% Harris in the money in the books. So.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
We had a podcast with Andrew and Haas, right? Remember I brought up that it doesn't matter if we think a certain way because the masses believe that their feelings are engaged with Kamala. And her campaign has been what? All about emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
Democrats do.
Indefinitely, even though she didn't slam the debate, her stand her ground, she has leverage. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say this. No matter what, this election is going to be very close.
Yeah.
I think this thing is going to be extremely close. Yeah, right now we got Trump at 54 and Kamala at 45. Oh, shit. Really?
No, that's a bias bull.
Yeah. Well, that's from unwokeness.
That's bias.
He's extremely.
Those are the betting odds right now.
That's what. Look
those
at
are the betting odds.
Those are the
that's the betting odds.
Oh.
Okay, that you can trust. If it's the betting odds, because that's where people are actually putting their money, not their heart, not what they feel, where their hard-earned money's at. That you can trust.
But hold on, Gary. Who's betting? Men or women?
I mean,
Men are betting.
I would imagine
The majority of them are betting.
Good point, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
Point, actually.
So no, see, this problem with politics, right? We put our biases on people's opinions. You can't do that. It has to be an even playing field where, you know what? Out of my feelings, what are they thinking? When you go down that route, you get to see the bottom line foundation. They're gonna think to themselves, you know what? Yes, women are the majority voters. They're not gonna bet money, but they're gonna bet their feelings on the person, not their money.
Yep.
So this is good. But is it reality? No, it's not reality.
When it comes to bettors, the successful ones don't take
the
feelings
bettors
into
are
account.
accounting for the women's feelings.
But
I see your perspective. You're saying most of the bettors are men.
Yeah.
So they might have a little bit of bias, but I see Gary's point where it's like, well, yeah, they're men, but they also want to make money, so they're going to account for a good bettor, at least in this situation, would account for females' volatility of feelings, or
hopefully,
or who they're going to vote for. But yeah, a majority of women are obviously going to vote for Kamala. Unfortunately,
see, the problem is if they can market to women to sell them anything, they can market to women to sell them Kamala.
Well, Kamala, I would argue, has done a better job at campaigning than Trump has.
Yeah. Look at her campaign.
I
will
give her that.
Meg Thee Stallion, Taylor Swift. Bro, her
Taylor
catalog of people she brought to endorse her.
That's huge that Taylor Swift endorsed her.
I'll kid you not, bro. Either she's stopped in with the marketplace herself or her team is.
She wanted to call her daddy? Actually, let's pull that up. She
Yeah.
wanted to fucking call her daddy podcast, bro. Holy.
But notice,
But she still won. She did that for a reason.
She declined. You know who? Dave Ramsey podcast. Remember?
Oh, he
Dave
would have
said-
grilled her.
Dave said he wants to interview Trump and Kamala to do a fair, unbiased approach to the actual elections.
If I were her, I want to go on Dave Ramsey either.
Hold on. But you know why? He was going to destroy her.
Yeah,
was he?
of course.
Her financial plan for America is bullshit. So he's going to break down, okay, so what about this? What about... She would have been destroyed. So she knows what... She's not dumb. I'll give you that. She's not dumb.
Her handlers aren't dumb. She's dumb as hell. Stop.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean,
that's
if
fair.
I were her, I wouldn't go on Dave Ramsey either.
Yeah.
He don't got enough clout for me to go over there.
Well, Trump went.
You don't think Ramsey has enough clout?
Dude, Ramsey's
big name,
established-
bro.
Remember,
No, no,
America...
no.
Hold on. Before you say anything, America goes to Ramsey for financial advice. So when he says, listen, I believe... Well, he's kind of retired now, but still, channel's still there. They're going to go to him and say, you know what? All right, what's your take on the current election for finances? He's going to say, you know what? I interview both, Trump all the way. That's going to pull some voters towards Trump or Kamala, wherever he bends to. So that right there, it may not be beneficial.
What I'm saying is that Ramsey doesn't have enough clout for Kamala to take that risk. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, for Kamala to go on his podcast, which is clearly going to be adversarial, and isn't really her demographic of voter that she even wants to go to, it's not, his level of clout is not worth the risk that it brings. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Whereas, if she goes on Rogan, he might challenge her a bit, but that's worth the risk, going on Rogan.
But Rogan won't put her on, or Trump.
Yeah, which I think is stupid.
But see,
But that's fine.
I
He'd rather
think-
just interview his friends.
he does have. I think he does have a little
Like,
bit
for the
of clout,
20th time.
though. Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, how many times can you talk about Flat Earth with Eddie Bravo, bro? Come on, man.
but he doesn't want to get involved because he doesn't want to pull either side either way. Remember, his influence is huge.
Yeah, but just bring everybody. That's just how you get around. That's how you get around it. Like, bring both. Literally talk to both.
I think he's.
He could have moderated debate between
I think
them.
he's more biased though.
He's like everyone else who was like a far left-wing nut, just like Elon 10 years ago. And now the pendulum has swung so hard the other way. Those left-wing nuts from 10 years ago now look like they're moderates or conservatives. It's like the Twilight Zone.
I call it the Tim Pool test. I literally called it the Tim Pool test. Like, Tim Pool was like considered a raging liberal
Now
like
he's
10 years ago. Now he's considered alt-right, which is fucking hilarious to me. Because I would say if anything, he's more center. He's more center right, probably.
Okay, guys here on the actual panel right now, who you got to win and why?
Trump.
Sorry,
Well, the most important thing men can do is convince women to vote for Trump. What I don't want is people to go on Twitter, go on Spaces, talk about Trump, and then your woman, your wife, your girlfriend, your daughter cancels out your damn vote. Okay? If I don't want you screaming at people, convince the women in your life to vote for Trump, which is something that should be automatic anyway. Convince the women in your life to do that, and guess what? Trump got this election sealed in the bag.